I wish you a very, very, very warm welcome in Spa. I think it will be the hottest edition ever of the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa for one of the best race of the year, and obviously the biggest GT race in the world, 69 GT3 car, 10 manufacturer. It will be so exciting once again. I'm very happy to welcome all of you for this event, and happy to welcome you as well for the SRO annual press conference. I would like you to welcome Mr. Stéphane Ratel, CEO and founder of SRO Motorsports Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual SRO press conference in the context of the 78th edition of the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa. When I prepared this press conference at once, I said, but what am I going to say? Because every year I always present new things and new projects and new continent. But now we are in a time of consolidation. I think we have built the global structure of GT racing with the FIA GT World Cup in Macau, with the Intercontinental, the biggest GT race sees where a GT3 wins overall, with our 4 GT World Challenge, and then with all the international and national GT Championship, GT2, GT4, and the rest of it. So now it's come a time of consolidation and of not creating new things, but of making everything better. So we will start by I think more and more, my role is to try to bring the sport together. And by the sport together, I mean bringing the big player in the world of sport car racing working together. When we did our grand, if I could say, annual evening awards in Venezia this year, I was very pleased around the table to have Pierre Fillon, the president of the ACO, to have Frédéric Lequien, the boss of the WEC, to have Thomas Voss, the boss of General Secretary of the ADAC Sports, and to have Bando-san of Super GT. There were one missing, which was IMSA, and we want to work in a closer matter with IMSA. We added here also the ACI, because for the first time this year, we're working closely with the ACI. We started a GT4 series together, and we are also now working to help them on the BOP in Italy. With the ACO, we have this partnership in Asian Le Mans. We now, through Peter Otto, which is also part of ACO, created this new revival series, and I'm very pleased to tell you that Pierre Fillon will be the starter of the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa tomorrow, which I think it's a very good sign for all the community. But our American friends at IMSA were still a little bit in the corner, and I really had the ambition that we could work more together and do things together. And I have here a message for you from John Doonan, who is the CEO of IMSA.
Very warm greetings from Watkins Glen International, home this weekend of the Salem 6 Hour at the Glen, the 3rd round of IMSA's WeatherTech Sports Car Championship Michelin Endurance Cup. I come to you today in celebration of our ongoing partnership with Stéphane and the entire SRO organization. We worked very closely together over the years on GT4 racing, GT3 racing, and very closely with our colleagues at SRO Americas, sharing schedule dates in advance to avoid conflicts, and even allowing SRO to participate in some of the greatest racing circuits in the US, like Sebring International Raceway or Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Today, I come to you in further celebration of partnership. Stéphane and our organization have worked very closely over the last many months through our technical leads to establish what is going to be an additional balance of performance test for GT3 cars around the world. Over the last 20 plus years, SRO has set an example through their BOP test, their balance of performance test at Circuit Paul Ricard in France. This December 2026, IMSA will collaborate with SRO on a very similar balance of performance test at Daytona International Speedway in preparation for the 2027 season and the 2027 65th running of the Rolex 24. This collaboration will gather more data, and more opportunity for both organizations to learn from one another and to potentially utilize the balanced performance testing in early races in the calendar year. We're very excited to work with Stéphane, Claude, and the entire team. All of my IMSA teammates and I, Simon Hodgson, Matt Kurdock, we're very thrilled to be able to announce this today and look forward to a very productive test that'll make the racing in 2027 even better than it is today. All the best of luck to everybody in the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa. Go get them.
Thank you, and we also wish them an excellent event in Watkins Glen. In my wishes, I hope that this collaboration will also allow us not to clash with Watkins Glen next year, because that's really, I believe that the four biggest endurance races in the world that are, of course, Le Mans, Daytona, Nürburgring, and Spa, their date can be protected. So that's work I have to do with John. One thing is sure is let's not misinterpret it. SRO is not going to do the BOP for IMSA, but BOP is such a complex matter that I think more brains we have around it doing it, and they have a big technical department. I think it's an exchange of information. It's true that over time we have developed this process of the pre-season BOP test with our test drivers, and I think they are interested in this process, and we're also interested to understand what they're doing, to understand a bit torque sensors and all of this. So I think it's a good technical collaboration and hopefully a better understanding, especially on the US continent, between IMSA and SRO. Now we're moving to Intercontinental GT, and I'm very happy to say that it's a big news, I think. We have restarted the 1,000 kilometer last year in partnership with Mobility Land, with the promoter, the owner of the circuits. It's been a success because right out of the box, we had 33 GT3 cars. Nobody believed in it. You know, this event had been stopped at the time of COVID, and for 5 years it didn't run. So it was for SRO a big undertaking to take it over. It's been a success, but we were a bit disappointed from the spectator attendance, which was maybe not what we expected. And we understand that the Japanese public is most and foremost interested in Super GT, which is a big championship, and would be even more interested if the Super GT would join with the best of Asia and the best of Europe. So we are very pleased to announce a further partnership with Mondo-san and his team with Super GT to bring together and to jointly promote the event and bring together the Super GT cars and the Asia car and the European cars. We believe that this can really fill the grandstand and make it a very big event. There was a little hiccup in the system in that we have a contract with Pirelli, with our dear partner, while they have a contract with a new supplier, because after years of multi-tire competition, they're moving to a single supplier. So how are we going to arrange it between the two? And we worked on it technically because we're very used to that in Japan, because we work on their BOP for years. And the idea is that all the cars will be on Pirelli, with the only exception of the full season entrant in Super GT that will run with their customer tires. They are customer tires, they are not development tires, and we will perform a series of BOP tests, which will be held by the fact that they will have sometime before, in summer weather, an event in Suzuka, and we will have, with GT World Challenge Asia, also an event in Suzuka. So we will be absolutely able to measure the performance of their cars and of our cars on the same track in similar weather conditions. So we think we will have all the data to offer a very good competition, a huge race, and hopefully a huge public attendance, which is exactly what GT World Challenge, what the Intercontinental GT deserves. Another big news for Intercontinental GT is that after years of running in Indianapolis, we have been informed that there was a possibility of repaving of the track that maybe would put our event in danger. For GT World Challenge, it's not such a problem because we can go and run somewhere else, but for Intercontinental, that's a problem. So we have decided to move, and we're very happy to announce that we will be running the Texas 8 at Circuit of the America, which happens to be our most successful event in America, the event where we have the most public. It's a circuit very well suited for GT racing. It's a circuit where you can do a lot of activities. We will do it on a Saturday race with something in the evening. We believe it can be a very, very successful event and maybe grow this event that we need in America, because for the moment we have, you will agree, with Bathurst, with the Nürburgring, with Spa, with Suzuka, we have a fabulous calendar, and we need a big one in America, and I hope this one will become the big one in America. And I want really to thank Abby, who has done a fantastic job as manager of our GTC. We had at some point only 3 manufacturers, then we had 4, now we have 6, and I really, really wish that all the manufacturers producing GT3 cars will be part of this series, because that's really a very big series for GT3 racing. So here the calendar, you have it. That also brings us, if I could say, the advantage of having 3 races before Spa, because sometimes some manufacturers have a tendency to be motivated before Spa and a little bit less after. So we hope to solve that problem and to have everybody motivated then for the whole season. We talk about the thing that works and progress, but when something doesn't go the way I would like, I don't put it under the carpet, and I don't want to hide, and I want to update you on 2 projects in which we have worked for years, and we invested quite a lot of money, which is the FIA Motorsport Games and GTX. The FIA Motorsport Game is due to run every 2 years. We were supposed to run this year, at the end of the year. We had followed the FIA requirement and our contract of a race outside of Europe. We worked on it, we visited, we had everything laid on with the federation, with the sponsor, with everything, and unfortunately, really at the 11th hours, it collapsed. That happened in motorsport. That doesn't mean we give up. We will continue to look for it. Maybe having it every 2 years is too ambitious, because it's a very big event to put together. Maybe every 4 years, I don't know, but we're not giving up, but for the moment it's on the standby. Same thing I would say for GTX. We had downscaled it and we said, okay, we're gonna concentrate and we're gonna recreate really a big Targa Florio. And we're gonna forget going around the world. Let's do a big Targa Florio for this type of cars. We had everything lined up, a big promotion company, media company, very interested. The ACI interested, everybody interested, but then we need to do that. We need a circuit, and unfortunately, the circuit of Enna-Pergusa went down, and without the circuit, we can't do it. It's simply closed for the time being, so we don't know if one day it will reopen. We're not forgetting about it, because we think, of course, that electric mobility will continue to progress, but it's also true that in terms of electric sports cars at reasonable prices, there are not really many of them on the market. So we first need the car before to re-engage, but we believe in the concept, and I hope one day I will be standing here and tell you we're back, both for the motorsport game and for GTX. Our European activities, so we will start with the one that you all know very well, with the GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS. This championship is really growing. Not only is at maximum capacity, we take only 59 cars because we can't put more at Monza. We take, last year everybody told me, you have too many cars at Spa, so we said, okay, we leave it at 70. We had 70 entries, one last minute didn't come. So in terms of grid, I don't think we can do any better than that. Then it's all down to promotion. We've put a big effort in promotion, a big effort in making it better known. We have shortened our name from Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS, to now we really name it, of course, AWS is our important partner, but in terms of general communication for the fan, we also put a lot GT World, GT World, GT World. So when you speak about our championship, don't call it Blancpain, that I think is, is gone, but some people still do. What you do, I do the Blancpain. Don't call it Fanatec GT, don't call it GT, call it GT World. Voilà, I think if you want to add AWS, of course you can, but the name among all ourselves is GT World. So on that, what are the surprises on this calendar? 2, because of course, since we're building events with increased public attendance, we have a tendency of wanting to stay at the same place for the same events and promote more year on year. You've seen the crowd we had it at Ricard, you've seen the crowd we had at Branzat, you've seen the crowd we had at Monza. Here you will see the crowd. We are really up in advance sale. We will see what it is at the gate with the weather it is. Maybe some people will prefer to watch it at home, but we will see. But anyway, the 2 novelties are Imola, which is a very last-minute thing because we were informed earlier this week that Monza is going to redo their building and can't accommodate our date. Bon, so we've been in Imola before. We love Imola. And we will be going to Imola. And the other novelty, because I told you and I told the team that I wanted to bring a little bit of diversity every year. We've been to Portimao. This year we will go to Budapest. It's good. We haven't been in the east of Europe for a while. It's a beautiful circuit, which also has been done since the last time. They've done a lot of renovations since the last time we've been. It's a beautiful city. I think many drivers and people will be happy to be at Budapest for this beautiful event. And also, I have to present you here. We became master of the globes, if I could say. We had 2 globes for the manufacturers, the Intercontinental one, which is the daylight globe. We have the night light globe, which is for the Global GT World Challenge, where, you know, this year we have 10 manufacturers entered in the Global Challenge, scoring points through their various teams around the world. Also, the winners of IGTC had the chance of having a globe. Now we have 4 of those made for the 4 winning teams. So the winning team in Europe, in Asia, in America, and in Australia. You will agree they look good, and each team will receive one each year. So then we continue with the Mustang Challenge that we are very pleased to welcome next year. It's something new. We never had the Mustang Challenge with us. We do have a series in Australia running with our platform, but for Europe will be the first time, and they are prepared a wonderful little video. Oh. Thank you, Ford. Now, the GT4 continue to be a resounding success. Both in Europe, we have 45 cars this weekend, and in many championships in Europe and around the world. Some promoted by SRO, many others under license. I have to say thank you, Porsche, for having presented this new GT4 based on the 911. We owe Porsche the success because, you know, now I experience a bit the same with GT2. It's not easy to create a category. And GT4, it took us 7 years of suffering until Porsche presented the Cayman GT4, sold many of these cars. So the other manufacturers said, oh, that's not stupid. And they started producing cars, and it became the success it is. So to have Porsche coming with a new car, with the 911, is very important for the category. So thank you very much. And I have no doubt that you will have commercial success with this car. So the calendar, you see it, the Paul Ricard, Imola, Spa, Misano, Zandvoort, Barcelona. It's classic, it's certain. The teams like it, and we love the championship. Next is, sorry. Next is our GT2 European Series. After years of suffering, years of investment, it is finally looking good. We had 22 cars at the first one, 20 at the second. We have 21 at the third. So we are staying, what I call it, above the flotation line, which means that the plane is at full speed on the runway and should take off because, I mean, I don't know if you had seen the race here at Spa, but it was very highly disputed, fantastic, looking good. And I have teams starting to tell me, don't you want to bring this category here, or do you don't want to bring this category there? So I think we have potential of development, but it simply follows the same pace as GT4. Some categories come right out of the box, immediately a success. That was GT3, and you know we're celebrating this year 20 years of GT3 racing, and some other, like GT4, like GT2, take more time, but the important, as Winston Churchill used to say, is never, never, never give up. The GT3 Revival Series, it's our new partnership with Peter Otto. We will be over, Maya Giovanna help us with that, we will be 40 cars at Spa, at Le Mans Classic next weekend, and I will be having the pleasure of participating myself. So I'm very pleased. It's a beautiful category. I think for everyone at SRO, and I'm sure for many of you, it's a pleasure to see these cars back in action. We had forgotten how noisy they were because now we run with essentially turbos, so our fields are a lot quieter, but they are beautiful, and it's really, really nice. And as I said, I want to thank Maria Giovanna for having found the time, in addition of taking care of GT World Challenge Europe, to find the time to take care of GT3 Revival. France, the French Championship, we had a hard time last year, and I want to thank there also Laurent Godin and his team. We really were worried for the national platform. It's not easy at the moment, the national championship, because it seems that everybody wants to do European series. But as you can see, we're not doing too bad. We have changed a couple of things. We have reduced the number of events. We have worked on the composition and the format of the grids, and it's starting to pick up again. So thank you to the team for having achieved that. British GT, a bit of the same phenomenon. After having been for years completely full, suddenly the grid started to go down. Some of our clients have left the UK, some other, the economy is not easy at the moment, but we can't complain. I think we had 23 cars here at Spa last weekend, so it's doing okay. And we, of course, remain fully dedicated in British GT, which is for SRO one of our longest promoted championship. It's an important country for motorsport. It's where we are born and where SRO was born and where we operate mainly from. So it's very important for us to continue succeeding with this beautiful championship. Asia, entirely managed by Benjamin, who has had a very, very, very busy year. Maybe I've put a little bit too much on him because he had the Asian Le Mans Series in our partnership with SEO, which is an important series and should become even more important with the introduction of the hypercar category at the end of this year. In addition, GT World Challenge Asia, Japan Cup, and what we did in China, our SRO GT Cup. Maybe that was a bit too much. It's true that it's been a bit more difficult this year, especially because we were very ambitious and we wanted to do more. We want to go to more countries. Let's go to Indonesia, Mandalika. Let's go to the streets of Beijing. Let's go to China once. Let's go back to China at the end of the year. I think for the team, it started to be too expensive. So Benjamin has really worked well into reworking the calendar. And importantly also, this is a picture taken today, this morning, with the time difference, with the municipality of Beijing. And you know, there is something in China. Always people say it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Even one of the manufacturers closely invested in the event said, no, but we heard it's not going to happen. It's happening, and more than that, we have signed a 10-year agreement. The circuit is phenomenal. This is in Beijing, the capital city of China. This is live on CCTV5. There can't be a better event to promote GT racing in Asia. So we are fully committed, and we want to make it a big success. A success it deserves to be, because it will be the only race where we have been in Beijing. They did once GT1 World. They did once A1GP. They did once Formula E. Never a race has returned. So I'm proud to say we're returning, we're staying, and we will build this event as a very, very important, not only Chinese event, but international event. So our calendar, let's say we go back to normal. We go to Sepang. We go to Buriram. We return to Buriram for a year because Mandalika, we have decided to move it to the beginning of next year. So we hope at the time the grid will have replenished a bit, and that will be our program. Then Suzuka, independent, not the 1,000 kilometer, normal format. Then Fuji, and then the 2 races at the end of the year, which of course makes a lot more sense. Beijing, in the streets of Beijing, and Shanghai to finish the season. Japan Cup, also simple, 4 events, all in Japan, a good category with, I have to say, a lot of Ferraris, but also a couple of other cars. And we really very much like working in Japan, and also through our very good collaboration with Super GT. American activities, now, we're not going to go to yet. So the calendar, as you could see, of course, the Texas 8 hours, and then the novelties. You see, it's pretty much the standard calendar. No, we're going back to Watkins Glen. Sorry, we haven't been for some time. Also, thanks to our excellent relation with IMSA, because the group owns Watkins Glen. And then we finish at Indianapolis, unless there is a repaving problem. And then we already have another circuit in line to welcome us. Australia, and I want, of course, to thank Greg Gill and all our American team. Many of them are here today, and thank you for your fantastic job. I have to say that in America, with the new endurance format that we have, with this 3-hour race and the endurance 8 hours, we have a clear format, I would say, and we can see that the situation starts to improve. The customer seems to be happy, which is not always easy. And I have to say it's looking better and better. We have some expression of interest for more cars for next year. So we're quite optimistic in the evolution. In Australia, thanks to Ben McMillan, who's of course here and who is working very hard in our Australian activities. We have 2 championships. We have a GT World Challenge, and we're very pleased to say that we will have, are you going to say what? They have Bathurst already. Yes, we go to Bathurst for the 12 hours, which is a very important event for SRO, part of our GTC, but it's not promoted by us. It's promoted by Supercar, our good partner, Australian partners. But for a national championship, it's very important to have a race in Bathurst. It's important for our GT4 team. It's important for our GT3 teams. And it's also a possibility. You know, I see with the ADAC, our partner at the ADAC Nordrhein, that they have with the 24 hours of Nürburgring, they have a quali race, and I think that would be fantastic also to offer the possibility to drivers and to teams to have another event in Bathurst before the 12 hours. So we're very pleased about this evolution. So here is the calendar in Australia. Well, only the last event remained to be confirmed. And this is similar for the monochrome GT4 Australia series, which is a very, very successful series with about 30 cars, and GT4 is really working very, very well down under. Our social, our company's social responsibility activities, we continue really to invest on the environment. we have a portfolio of compensation. You know, we collect fees from all the entries all around the world, and we invest all of this amount, plus an amount from SRO for our own emission, and we invest through a portfolio around the world of 9 projects, and including a big part of them now in Europe. So I think we continue doing the right thing, and we are on our fourth year of entirely biofuel for Europe and Asia. And I would like to call Laurent Stauff from Total Energy to say a few words.
Good afternoon, Stéphane. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy and delighted to be here at Spa because it's an amazing place, and I'm very happy to speak on behalf of Total Energy's company. 1 week ago, I took contact with my colleagues from headquarters in Paris, from additive and special fluids, from lubricants branch, and I received some information about the collaboration between SRO and Total Energies. In fact, the partnership started for more of 30 years ago, and in fact, we started the collaboration because we had the same goal, the same ambition. The first one was to make the motorsport a field of excellence, to develop performance, including team spirit and innovation. Year after year, we developed the collaboration, and we are very happy of this collaboration. 3 years ago, we follow your request, and we start to supply biofuel Excellium. And for this edition, it's a new phase, because the 2 previous years was with Excellium Racing 100, and this year we will provide Excellium Racing Evo for Evolution with higher performance, but always with responsibility and sustainability, because produced from biocircular material roads certified, offering more than 65 reduction of greenhouse gases. So it's a good example that we follow the request of our partners, because we want to be part of the transition of energy. So it's a real pleasure to be with you again this year, and we wish you all the best for this weekend, probably very hot, very warm, and keep in mind, be safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Another of our action, and it's really to pay tribute to one of the most moving personality and that I met in my life in motorsport, Alex Zanardi, that has left us this year. And when his wife Daniela contacted us and say, would you like to participate, to support this amazing charity that Alex has developed to help athletes, and they're real athletes participating to the Paralympic, is this team of Charitable has won many medals, many Olympic medals. It's really an amazing charity, and I'm very happy to say that we will contribute not only this year, but for many years. Another of our more directly linked to what we do, but we believe in the promotion of young drivers. GT racing is expensive, and we can help young drivers progressing and hopefully progressing to the top. We see very important our investment, growing investment in the promotion of young drivers with the SRO GT Academy, and I want to show you a quick movie.
This is the 2026 SRO GT Academy. In its first full season, 44 drivers from 21 countries have registered, and there are 3 amazing prizes to help showcase and develop the young talents on display. The Academy has 3 elements to it. In France, the FFSA Championnat de France GT4 series is where it all began. The first graduate in 2025 was Gaspard Simon, who received a €150,000 contribution to lining up on the 2026 GT World Challenge Europe powered by AWS grid in an Aston Martin GT3 with Vorkenhorst Motorsport. At 19 years of age, he is a great example of what the Academy is all about. The SRO GT Academy is about developing drivers, and we couldn't do that without our partners at Pirelli, supporting our drivers on and off the track. This year, the FFSA Championnat de France GT4 prize remains the same, with 13 drivers currently battling for the opportunity. It's the biggest Academy field yet, and proof of the concept. The second prize brings us to the GT2 European Series, powered by Pirelli. To win, you have to be driving either a Mercedes-AMG, a Ginetta, or a Maserati. 8 drivers representing 7 different countries are chasing the dream of a fully funded seat in GT World Challenge Europe Endurance Cup with a Mercedes-AMG customer performance team. And finally, the SRO GT Academy will enter a fully funded car into the biggest GT race in the world. The winning Academy driver from GT World Challenge powered by AWS America, Asia, Australia and British GT will be selected for this incredible opportunity. But the question is, in what car? We're pleased to announce that the 7-time GT World Challenge Global Manufacturer Champions Mercedes-AMG will be the official partner for the SRO GT Academy car at the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa in 2027.
Thank you, Stéphane. Thank you, everyone at AMG. We did ask all the manufacturers, so it's not something that we went and picked and chose. We made a kind of a tender. We said we would love you to join us. Maybe we could have one for one price and one for the other, but MJ is the one that followed us, and we're very pleased with this partnership. But that doesn't mean that you need to drive a Mercedes to have more chance to be selected for the prize. It's the same, whatever brand you race up to winning the prize. And the last point, it's usually the way I conclude these press conferences, is that you are, if you win, or if you're invited, this year the Grand SRO Award will be in New York, in the great Cipriani Central building, which is probably one of the most beautiful place where you can host a grand event in New York City on 42nd Street, and it will be on the 12th of December. I hope to see many of you on this occasion, and in the meantime, I wish you a fantastic weekend to enjoy this event and to enjoy all of the SRO seasons around the world. None of this would be possible without all of you, the manufacturers, the partners, the teams, the suppliers, and of course, the drivers. Thanks to all of you. The dream continues.